Hello, all of you awesome healers, sensitive people, empaths, and everybody that's sensitive to the energies around them. The holidays are coming up, and for many of us, it's a very stressful time because all of that old relationship stuff comes up, and you know that in a lot of ways, getting together with them is difficult because you're out of your daily routines. You're connecting with people that you've had long histories with, and sometimes that doesn't work so well for us. It can really be draining. Listen in for 3 or 4 really great tips for taking good care of yourself and your energy during the holidays. So, thank you so much for coming back. Stay tuned to hearing more. Welcome to Physics Powered Healing, where we help healers increase their impact and income using science-based strategies. Integrating quantum physics with energy healing is essential to achieving profound and long-lasting transformation for you and those you help. Join me, Dr. Anastasia Chopoulos, a physicist turned energy healer, to explore the scientific underpinnings of energy healing to transform skepticism into belief. Welcome back. So glad you're here right now to hear these few tips that I usually do to deal with difficult relationships, because remember, relationships are the number one factor in your longevity, your happiness, your health, and even your wealth. And maintaining great relationships is so important, even those where you've had very difficult times. And I'll give you an example. When I was younger, oftentimes my mother would say just a few words, and then I didn't talk to her for a month because I got so upset. So she was controlling my mood, my feelings, my well-being by her words. But the words were not what she said, it was how I interpreted them, right? Tip number 1 is when you're listening to somebody, because oftentimes these words that you say are really a history. It's a collection and it's cumulative. She had made these little kind of digs or criticisms in the past, and I really took them to heart because I wanted her approval and I didn't feel I got it. And then later, so here's the deal. Later, I learned that my sister said that every time she was around my mom, that my mom would brag and brag and brag about me. But to my face, all I got was criticism. And when I was around my mom, she would brag about my sister all the time, but all she heard was criticism. So you never know what's in that person's mind, because when you're little, so the Greek way was to not praise your kid too much because they might get too big of an ego and then be difficult to live with. So she thought she was doing me a favor by not praising me, which is the opposite of child rearing theories today, right? So listen to what they're saying, the actual words, and don't take it seriously. Just be observational. And that includes observing what that person is saying, like you interpret it as criticism, but is it really? And second, observe what you're feeling when they're saying it, and then just let it go. Because a lot of times that person really loves you and they're loving you the best way they know how. They just don't know how to love you the way you need to be loved, right? And when you're a child, it's really difficult to tell your parent how to do it differently. So remember, they're not going to change. It's you that has to do the changing. And the changing is not changing who you are, but how you hear it. So that's my tip number 1, is to be observational. Tip number 2, if it really starts to hurt you, remember that when it is hurting you, you can just move your hands in front of your solar plexus. And what that does is it cuts the connection to the stress that it's causing. So you can just imagine as you're cutting the cords, you're dropping that information down into the earth and it stops affecting you. And it works like magic because it's symbolic. The symbolism works really well in the subconscious. So the subconscious interprets this cut as releasing, like you're releasing those thoughts as you're cutting here in front of your solar plexus. You can also do the big cuts. But just by doing these subtle movements here in front of your solar plexus, just by doing these subtle movements, if you're sitting at a table, somebody wouldn't even see it. They would just see you doing some movements. And most people, 99.9% of the people, don't even pay attention to you doing something like that. And very seldom, like I would do that with my mom, and very seldom would she say, "What are you doing?" So to remember that you have the ability to protect yourself energetically. The third thing is, so second is just cutting the cords to your solar plexus so they don't close you down here. And the third thing is take a bag of sea salt with you, and you can take a salt shower in the evening and in the morning. So in the evening, after you've had a connection with family, then you go and take a salt shower. You just put a little bit of salt in the palm of your hand, wet it, and then start patting it on you. You can even rub it. Sometimes I even like to do a scrub to slough off some of the dead cells because, you know, as we get older, we have more dead cells and we want to keep them alive, right? And especially get under the arms because we collect a lot of energy in these areas. And just release all of that energy off of you. And after you're done, you can also help fill in your whole energy field. Just imagine you've got some golden healing salve or cement and you're plastering your energy field closed, front and back. Make sure you don't forget the top and the bottom below your feet. And when you help seal it, it helps prevent people from sending their cords over to you and drawing your energy out. Because when somebody says something to you that's unpleasant, they're sending a line of energy to you and they're needing your energy back. And they're doing it subconsciously. They're not doing it to be against you. It's just that that's the way they know how. They have not figured out that they've got the source themselves. And these few tips that I've given you, first, listen, not getting emotional, but observational. You're observing what they're saying, how they're saying it, and what your reaction is to it. And just go, that's interesting. Step number 2 is you can cut your cords. Step number 3, you can clean up all of the dead energy that collected on you with a salt shower. In fact, I take one every morning. You can even pour salt into your bathtub and do it that way. I prefer shower because it's faster and I really like the super hot water pouring on me and washing away that energy and not sitting in it. And no, it's not Epsom salt, it's sea salt. Epsom salt has magnesium in it, is for relaxing the muscles, which is also very helpful. But it is sea salt, like NaCl, sodium chloride, table salt, but without any of the additives. And then the last was filling in your energy field to protect you. So you help protect that field. The field around you is protecting you. And one last step with your field, out of each pore is a line of energy that comes out. And a lot of times being in these complex relationships, that things get tangled and knotted and the holes come in place. So you can also imagine that you're combing your energy field so all of the tangles are gone. You're just combing it. You don't have to comb it hard. You just gently comb it with your fingers, front and back. I just bring my energy person here in front of me and do it. And then have in my mind that it is working on me. And that's a bonus tip. So I hope that was helpful today. So you have the ability to navigate your difficult relationships and come out of it without getting caught, like emotionally caught, wrought up, and have somebody else control your good mood. Thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen in. If you found this message helpful, please help spread the word by giving the broadcast a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends and be sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on. Next week, we'll be covering another powerful addition to your healing arsenal. Thank you for tuning in to Physics Powered Healing. You'll find resources and show notes on our website at physicspoweredhealing.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Anastasia Chopelas, sending you golden healing light and success vibes on your journey to becoming a powerful, confident healer or intuitive. Remember, your gifts are so needed in this world.